Hey, Cheetahs, now it's your job to prove the researchability of your topic. Now, in order to do this, you're going to need to find two articles from one of our three databases. Remember, for this project, we're using World Book Online, Gale, Researcher, and Pebble Go. So let me show you really quickly how we can use these databases to help prove researchability. So I'm going to start in Clever because that's how I can get to all of my resources. World Book Online, Gale Elementary, and of course, Pebble Go. Now, my example I'm going to use for you is that we are going to be looking for information on, I'm trying to prove the researchability of the topic, the atomic bomb that was used on Hiroshima and Nagasaki during the Second World War. Sorry, I'm trying to log in at the same time as I'm talking. So I'm going to start by looking in World Book. Now, when we've done this before, when we were exploring for topics, we were looking at timelines. Today, we're going to be going to Discover, this little purple hiker. I'm going to click on Discover because this is going to allow me to search for my topic. So I'm going to search for atomic bomb. That's my topic. And when I do that, I'm going to get a couple of different things. We need to find two articles. Now, one can be from World Book, one could be from Gale, or one could be from Pebble Go. We're going to look for all of these things. We're going to look through all of the databases. Now, I see that Hiroshima is the Japanese city on which the first atomic bomb used in war was dropped. That's a researchable topic. So I'm going to click on this article, and now I know I could use this article for my continued research. So on my slide, I want to show you what your form looks like. When you are filling out the form today that you're going to get in class, you are going to be asked to prove researchability by showing one article. There's my title, Hiroshima. Make sure you include your name and your teacher. And then I need to look for a second article. You're trying to work your way through this document. You will probably start today, but you might not finish. So I'm going to go back to World Book because I know now that the title, here's my title of my article, Hiroshima. Here's the title of my article, Hiroshima. And I write that down on my form and I circle that I found it in World Book. Now, if I go back to my searches, I might also see the Manhattan Project. Oh, I want to click on that because that might also be something I could use to research. The Manhattan Project was a top secret United States government project to produce the first atomic bomb. Boom! That means I now have two articles that I could use to prove my topic is researchable. So if I was going to, I could go back to my form, I could come back and I could add the Manhattan Project here on Article 2 and circle World Book. But I also could go back, click on Gale, and see if there are other articles in Gale that I could use for my project. So I'm going to search atomic bomb again. And I see down here, the nuclear age dawns, atomic bomb. Oh, World War II. I know that Hiroshima and Nagasaki were bombed during World War II or at the end of World War II. So now I could click on this new article, atomic bomb, and see that I could use this article as well for my research. And that way I can prove researchability. The title of this is atomic bomb. I can go back to my form. I can circle Gale and I can type in atomic bomb, right? So that would give me two articles that would prove that my topic is researchable. Now, just in case you want to see what it looks like, I'm going to go into Pebble Go And when I go into Pebble Go, I'm going to do the same search. I'm going to search for atomic bomb and see what I get. Now, I'll tell you that the text complexity is there's a search bar up here in the corner. The text complexity in Pebble Go is not as difficult, maybe, as Gale or World Book. A little bit easier to read. So I might not be able to find anything in Pebble Go. You can see when I search for atomic bomb, it says, sorry, unable to find. Maybe if I search for World War II, nothing. Okay. What if I search for WW22? Nope, still nothing. Now, I do know, though, that the bombs were dropped on 2 cities in Japan. So I could search for Japan. Oh, there it is. And now I have an article on Japan that I could use to prove the researchability of my topic. So if I wanted to use this Pebble Go article, I could go back to my form. I could circle Pebble Go, and my title that I would add to my form would be Japan. Okay, so we've proved researchability in those 3 ways. Again, in Clever, you have World Book, Gale Elementary, or Pebble Go. Now, I wanted to point out that if you don't find your topic, go ahead, talk with an adult in the room and ask them, what are some other key words you might use? For example, we couldn't find atomic bomb in Pebble Go, but we could find Japan. So there may be ways for you to prove the researchability of your topic if you take the time to consider what keywords that you are using. Okay, so let's go ahead and review. For today, you're going to be trying to prove the researchability of your topic by filling out this form. We will use today and next week to finish this form. Write your name, circle your teacher's name, and start by writing the topic at the top of your page. I wrote the bombing of Japan in World War II. Be specific. Tell me as much information as you can so that I know what you're trying to learn more about. Then use the databases to find 2 different articles that you would use for the research in this project. Finally, provide 2 reasons you want to recommend this topic to the author, Lauren Tarshis. My examples were, it's the only time an atomic bomb has ever been used in war. And there seems to be a lot of talk about nuclear weapons when the US is fighting with other countries. So I've got 2 really good reasons. I got to be honest, a good reason why you want to learn about a topic, I'm not going to accept because it's cool. Or I don't know, IDKs, not accepted. What are the 2 reasons? Be honest, be specific. What are the 2 reasons you want to learn more about this topic and you think that Lauren Tarshis should write a book about it? Okay, Cheetahs. Name, teacher, topic, 2 articles to prove researchability of your topic, and 2 reasons why you want to choose this topic. Happy researching, Cheetahs.